In this video, I'm just going to do a quick recap of expanding brackets. So the first thing to remember when we're expanding a set of brackets is to remember that we're actually multiplying. So this term here means 5 lots of y plus 3. Okay, 5 lots of y plus 3. So we're doing some multiplication. There are two ways to do this, and I'll go through both of them now. The first method, as we looked at in class, was the grid method. So we'd set up our grid where we are doing 5 lots of y plus 3. And then I would do 5 times y to give me 5y. And then 5 times positive 3 to give me positive 15. And therefore, as an expansion, this is 5y plus 15. The second method that we discussed in class was kind of our FOIL method, if you like, as you guys were calling it. So it means we do 5 times y, and then 5 times positive 3 like this, which would give me 5y plus 15. So you can see we arrive at the same answer. Moving on then, work through this example exactly the same as the last one. So I set up my grid method. So I'm doing 6 lots of z, but I've got a negative 4 now, take away 4. So 6 times z gives me 6z. 6 times negative 4 gives me negative 24. So this becomes 6z, take away 24. And again, we've got 6 times z, 6 times negative 4, which would give me 6 lots of z, take away 24. So those were the kind of basic ones that we looked at, and we then moved on to looking at expanding and simplifying some things down. So we've got a question here that would say expand and simplify. So 5 lots of t would give me 5t, 5 lots of positive 6 would give me 30. Now, the mistake that they're going to try and force you to make in this question is forgetting this negative here. I'm doing negative 3 times t, which would give me negative 3t, and then I'm doing negative 3 times positive 4, which would give me negative 12. So if I expanded those two single brackets out, that's what I would get. I'm now going to simplify, so it's going to be 5t, take away 3t to give me 2t, and then I've got 30, take away 12 to leave me with positive 18. So I'm left with 2t plus 18. Okay, and then we looked at expanding a bracket by a bracket. And the key thing we always need to keep in mind whenever we're expanding double brackets is we need to multiply everything in this first bracket by everything in this second bracket. And again, we had two methods to do this. I'm going to work through both. The first method is just an extension of the grid method for our single brackets, where we consider both terms. So we've got x plus 6, and we've got x take away 2. And then we do our multiplying. So x times x would be the result in this square here to give me x squared. And then I do x times negative 2 to give me negative 2x. 6 times x to give me positive 6x. And then positive 6 times negative 2. The result's going to go in that space there, and that is negative 12. So this would give me x squared, take away 2x, plus 6x, take away 12. And then we simplify. We can collect these two terms together here. Negative 2x plus 6x gives me positive 4 lots of x. So my answer would be x squared plus 4x, take away 12. The other method I said you could use is the second bracket twice method. So that's where we take the first term in the first bracket, which is x, and multiply it by the second bracket, then take the second term in the first bracket, and multiply it by the second bracket. And then we do our single bracket expansion. So x times x gives me x squared. X times negative 2 gives me negative 2x. 6 times x gives me positive 6x. 6 times negative 2 gives me negative 12. And again, we are going to simplify these two terms, or collect these two terms together, in order to give me x squared plus 4x take away 12. Okay, moving on then, this is the final example that I'm going to go through. This would be similar to what you'd be able to be expected to answer at higher tier. If you could do the last example well, that's an intermediate tier example. This is now moving into what we'd be expected to be able to expand in the higher tier exam. So using the grid method, nothing changes. We've got a 2 by 2 grid. We're in my first bracket. The first term is 2y. The second term is positive 3. In my second bracket, the first term is 7. And the second term is negative 4y. So multiplying then, I've got 2y times 7, which is 14y. I've got 2y times negative 4y, which is negative 8y squared. Then I've got 3 times 7, which is positive 21. And then I've got 3 times negative 4y, which is negative 12y. Now remember, we talked about this in class. We want to form a quadratic, and a quadratic goes in order of power from the power of 2 in an unknown number down. So I'm going to write this as negative 8y squared plus 14y take away 12y plus 21. And just like in the last example, we can collect these two like terms together to leave me with a final answer of negative 8y squared plus 2y plus 21. And doing this second bracket twice way, we're going to do 2y times by 7 take away 4y plus 3 lots. 7 take away 4y. So 2y times by 7 gives me 14y. 2y times by negative 4 gives me negative 8y squared. 3 times 7 gives me 21. 3 times negative 4y gives me negative 12y. So I now have negative 8y squared. 14y take away 12y gives me 2y plus 21. So these are all the examples that you would need to know for expanding single brackets and expanding a bracket by a bracket.